Good morning, YouTube family. It is Joni from Smilin' Shrinkin', and I'm coming to you guys today with a butt cake recipe. What happened was I was having my morning breakfast and went to eat my bananas, and they had turned. They were too bruised. I'm so picky on bananas. So I decided to smush them up. I grabbed some other bananas out of my freezer that were super ripe. And I decided to just, I'm kind of winging it. I'm kind of into those Bundt cakes right now. So fingers crossed this turns out. Let me turn this camera around and show you what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm doing the doctored cake, and if this was an ideal world, I think I would be using, instead of vanilla pudding, I'd be using a banana pudding, but I think it'll still be plenty delicious. So I'm using the doctored up version, which is just a cake mix, pudding, instant pudding mix. Instead of 3 eggs, I'm using 4 eggs. Instead of a cup of water, I use a cup of half and half, and then I'll top it off with a half a cup of water on top of that. So it'll still be 1 cup of liquid. I'm adding to it a half a cup of sour cream. It kind of balances all the sweetness. I'm adding 3½ mushed up bananas and about a cup, it's maybe 3/4 of a cup of nuts. So I'm going to mix that all together in my thing, and then I'm going to spray and get ready my Bundt pan. So fingers crossed it works. Okay, so I'm just getting all of my ingredients together, just getting everything ready, patting the package of cake mix. If you give it a little tap out, that way if there's any little bubbles of flour that's clumped together, you get those lumps out before you get started. So I'm just pouring it in the bowl, and now I'm getting ready to add the Jello mix. The thing that's so great about this recipe, as well as the other Bundt cake recipes, is that you just kind of dump everything in together. It's not quite as fussy as regular baking. It's very, very forgiving, even for people like me who's not super familiar with baking, not a huge set of skills, but boy, I make really yummy cakes now. It's pretty exciting. Anyways, so one thing I did forget to show when I was putting the list of the ingredients together, I forgot the oil. So you're supposed to put a half a cup of oil. And on this one, I subbed out a half a cup of butter because everything's better with butter. So after the half a cup of butter, I'm putting in the 4 eggs, the half cup of sour cream. There's the milk. I had to top it off. Remember, I use 1 cup of liquid. And here comes the half cup of sour cream. You know, when I first saw sour cream in a cake mix, I just wasn't too sure about all that. But you know what? It really makes your cake nice and moist, as well as gives it a little bit of a tang to counterbalance all that super sweetness. It really is lovely. So I put it on the mixer for 2 minutes, and this is me just making sure everything is uniform. And it is. So now I'm just going to add those walnuts. I love walnuts and banana bread things. It's just delicious. If you don't like them, just leave them out. No big deal. But give it a good stir. And then I'm going to just put it in that pan after giving it a good spray. And the hardest part for me, honestly, is the part that's coming up here. You'll see I'm making sure to spray it really good, especially not just the outside, but that middle part. That's the part that can stick pretty easy if you miss it. Don't oil it. And before I was using the flour on it, but you know what? The oil alone has been enough. I don't know if it's just because I have a Rockstar pan or what, but this part that I'm doing right here, this tends to be my hardest part because, dude, it's heavy. That mixing bowl, it's no joke. That, KitchenAid, it's really heavy. So that's me trying to not drip it all over. I only spilled a little. Better than usual, I think. Oh, so I just get all that yummy mix out, trying to spread it evenly, and then get ready to put it into the oven. So Bundt Cake says to cook it for, oh, sorry. My daughter just popped in. Anyways, so here I am just trying to get everything nice and level, get out all of that yummy cake mix so I can put it into the oven. So the box says to cook a Bundt cake for 45 to 50 minutes at 350. I found I had to cook it a little bit longer than that, I'm sure because of all the extra moisture between the extra ingredients and everything, but every oven is going to be different. I know I have really long toothpicks, so when it went off, I just dunked it in and pulled it out when it was pretty much dry. You know, the first time I pull it in, it came out like totally gooey. I was like, nope. So I just put it on for another 10 minutes or so and then checked it again. And you'll do the same thing. This is me tasting the batter, and yes, it is delicious. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll check back here in just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. Cooling rack. Take it from the side so I can reach. Flip it over. And let's see how it turned out. Did I grease it enough? Ah, ta-da! Oh my goodness, that turned out so good. Dude, I'm loving bundt cakes. That is fabulous. Now, I'm guessing that this is already going to be sweet enough. This is one I won't need to put any frosting on because I don't like things super duper sweet. So I'm going to call this a win. I'll let you know what I think once I cut it. Okay, you guys, it's time to give this a little try. See if it's any good. It looks pretty. So I'm going to cut a slice. And show it to you. I'm just taking a little break from taxes for a little bit. Let me come get the money shot. Now, just so you know, if you're new to the whole bundt cake thing, which I used to be kind of new, this is the best bite right here. It's always so soft and delicious. So let me turn this around and I'll give it a try. Okay. It's super moist. It's actually, I think it's because of the sour cream in it that it makes it just a tiny bit tangy, because if not, it would probably be too sweet. It's actually really, really lovely. It's definitely sweeter and differently sweet than it would be if it was just banana bread. Certainly softer and more luxurious. Anyways, it is really yummy. I think most people would probably like a little bit of frosting, so I may consider making a little bit, at least maybe even a glaze, to give it just a little bit more sweetness, but I really like it. Yeah, totally rocks. What a super easy thing to do when you have leftover bananas. If you have company coming and you need a quick dessert, I would definitely recommend it. All right, you guys, I just had some guests stop by. It wasn't that convenient. I didn't even know they were coming, but here I have cake to offer them. So since they're going to eat it, I'm having them be my sampler of my banana cake. What you guys think?
It's moist.
It is moist.
It smells good.
Yeah? Doesn't suck?
Because it holds the moisture really well, but it's not like falling apart completely.
Do you think it needs frosting? I'm on the fence. Sweet enough without it?
I think it'd be too much with frosting.
Okay.
That's good.
Perfectly sweet. No.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
It
Woo!
doesn't feel doughy.
Okay, say goodbye.
Bye.
Anyways, you guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll have another video coming at you soon. In fact, I got a really fun one that I'm working on, so hopefully this weekend, if I can get all my taxes done on time and early, I will get it filmed. If not, for sure next week. Bye.